Good morning, guys. Happy Dashera to everyone. Yes, thank you, Kunal. Happy Dashera. विजयादशमीच्या तुम्हाला सर्वांना हार्दिक शुभेच्छा. हे वर्ष आणि सगळी नवीन पुढची वर्ष तुम्हाला अतिशय सुखा समाधानाची आणि भरभराटीची जावो. All the very best. Tons of best wishes to all of you. So sorry I started late because I had to take care of some puja at the family front. Sorry for that. So, yeah, thank you so much, guys. I'm sorry to call you on a Dasra, but there are some pending things. Before that, I cannot conclude the first part of the core Java. So we are going to make it brief. I was supposed to start 8:15. So this got delayed. So around 10:15, I will be wrapping up. So let's start. Let's start with her revision of what we said yesterday. And then I will start with today's topics immediately. So just a second. Right. So here, everyone knows we have started with collection framework. So let us start having some questions. I'll show you the slide in a minute. So let's have some questions answered. What is a collection framework? If anyone asks you, what will be your response? Standard question, standard answer. What will you say to that? Collection framework is nothing but ready-made implementation of data structures and data structure algorithms. That's your collection framework. And if you say specifically a collection, so tell me, is it a collection of objects or is it a collection of references? Girish told me already. So it is a collection of references. Very right. And as you have seen the memory picture, for example, ArrayList. When you say ArrayList, in ArrayList, we just store the references and the actual objects, let it be integer type of object, let it be your bank account type of object, let it be whatever objects, they will be kept elsewhere on the heap. So what are the advantages of collection framework over arrays? So let me ask you, when we were working in arrays, is array a growable dynamic data structure? Dynamic memory allocatable? Answer is no. It is fixed in size. Once you create an array, you cannot change it. Whereas collection, you have seen ArrayList. So ArrayList has a size and a capacity, and initial capacity, even if it is, if you use the default constructor, what is the initial capacity of the ArrayList? 10. But even after you add 10 references, and when you add the 11th reference, will it give you some exception or will the memory get allocated dynamically? Answer is memory allocation. Yes, into 1.5 times. Perfect. Exactly. But that is like as per the underlying JVM, but it will increment. It will memory allocation increment. Double the size doesn't happen, Abhijit. I said 1.5 times typically. So that is the as per the JVM. Okay. So the point is, this is growable. This is dynamic. Can you insert or delete the element from the array easily? It's a Boolean question. You know that. Answer is no, you cannot. Whereas you have seen yesterday, which methods you have seen for adding or deleting the reference or the element from the ArrayList? It's a add and remove. Exactly. So you can see, you should be able to compare. That is the reason yesterday we took an existing application and we ported it to ArrayList, because I wanted to highlight how collection framework eases out or how it helps you in writing the code and all that. Okay, so that is it. Then when you write, when you add the elements in the array, are they sorted or they are unsorted? They are unsorted. Today, yesterday, I think I showed you there is a collections class, and collections class has a static method sort. It doesn't return anything. So like somebody was asking me yesterday, does it sort the list which you have sent? Of course, yes. So the references in the list are shuffled as per the sorting criteria. So for integer, of course, it is an ascending order. Today, I'll show you sorting with our user-defined type. Yes, Ankit. It is the name of the classes. It's not collection. Collection is the name of the interface, Diksha, Ankit. The name of the class is collections. I'll show you about that. Okay, I'll talk about that. So sorting, searching, insertion, deletion is all is all very easy with the collection framework. That is why you are learning it. And like I said, it's always good to have the big picture in front of you. So this is little detail, but I'll still talk about it. So this is what what is that collection framework about? So you know that I've not drawn all this because this is a slightly detailed slide, but I can ask you verbally. So start answering. When you say collection framework, you know it is divided into two parts, two halves. Okay. So which are these two halves? One is collection interface and below. And which is the other part, guys? Tell me. Which is that other part of the collection framework? It is, let me see. Yes, exactly. Map interface and below. You are absolutely right. So now let us talk about the first half. So you will say that where you have shown us iterable, I'm showing you now. So what is it you have drawn yesterday in the, I told you to draw the picture. If you have created the space, if you have space, otherwise you can write it separately. There is a super interface of collection. If you ask me then why you did not tell us about it, because it is not a part of the collection framework, but it is extremely important whenever we are discussing collection framework. So let me keep it simple. Let me not confuse you early in the morning. So here, collection is the sub interface of iterable. So guys, if you want, you can take out that picture, I mean the diagram if you're drawn, and you can note this much. So which is the interface I'm talking about? Java.lang is the package. Iterable. See, the words are very confusing. They are similar sounding. Sometimes I say iterable. Sometimes I'm going to say iterator. So be clear. Sometimes I say collection, collections and all that. Okay, so I'll try to make it as easy as possible. So iterable, when I say it is an interface, the moment you say angle bracket and T, easy question. Generic interface or non-generic interface? Of course, it is a generic interface. Okay. And you all know there is nothing like actual class T. So what is T? Just a placeholder. Can I replace T by your wrapper class integer? It's a Boolean question, yes or no? Yes. Can I replace it by vehicle? Yes. Can I replace it by student, bank account, customer, etc.? Flight? Yes. So T just indicates the type of the element, or actually type of the collection over which you can iterate. So see the word iterable. Okay, so it shows the capability. It is an interface. But guys, why I did not talk about it? Is it a part? This is a popular question. Is this the part of the standard collection framework? Answer is no, but still important. So now come to the next line. There are a lot of methods in iterable interface. Today I'm telling you about the only important method, because that is my today's opening point. I mean, first point I'm going to show you. So iterable interface, keep your Java docs open so that I'm going to ask you to refer to it. Has one method, I mean, other methods later, has one method whose name is iterator. So watch carefully. When you say Java methods, do they start with lowercase or uppercase? Lowercase. I is lowercase. So iterator with lowercase I is a method. And guys, if you see, what is that iterator method returning? It is returning the type, the interface. There's another interface called as iterator. So this method returns the cursor or iterator that can traverse over the entire collection. If you don't understand, just give me 10 minutes. When we write it into code and all, you'll know it. Okay. So this is your iterable interface. See, the name of the interface is iterable, which is the method we have there, lowercase iterator. And what it returns is the iterator object. It's a iterator reference. But now is the important statement. Yesterday I made that. In most of the cases, you don't have to attach explicit iterator by calling this method. So what is the implicit form of iteration? This everyone knows. For each. So yesterday, whenever we had written for each employee in employee list, or for each int I in that integer list, what is happening internally? Internally the collection framework attaches the iterator and calls the methods. Okay, so I'll say this in a simple language. The explicit iterator is this method. What it returns is the iterator interface type. And if you don't want to attach the explicit iterator, the implicit iterator is nothing but for each. So before I show you the methods, what are the methods of that? I want to ask you something. Let's see whether your understanding is clear or not. So between these two, iterable and collection, which is a super type and which is a subtype, or which is a super interface and which is a sub interface? Everyone knows that. Which is a super interface? Iterable. Which is the sub interface? Collection. So I'll revise the other thing, but you know the remaining hierarchy. Collection is extended by list. By the way, all of this should be right in front of you. Am I saying today itself will you start remembering? No. But when we revise it sufficiently, when we go deeper in that, you will start remembering. Okay. So you see this. Iterable extended by collection. Collection extended by list. And which are the concrete list implementation classes you just noted yesterday? ArrayList, linked list, and vector. You understood this much of the hierarchy? Because I'm going to ask you a question based on it. Is everyone clear with the hierarchy which I said? Which is the hierarchy I'll be saying at least 100 times a day? Iterable, extended by collection, extended by list, implemented by ArrayList, linked list, vector. Give me some response, clear or not? Because I'm going to ask you a question. Okay, so now my question is, listen to the question. It's a popular question. Will you be able to attach iterator to ArrayList, linked list, vector? It's a Boolean question, yes or no? Answer is 100% yes. And if anyone asks you why, so simple questions, standard question. Can I say ArrayList is a iterable? Yes. So ArrayList is the concrete class. And we had spent a day in that on those interfaces and all. So ArrayList has list and not has, is a list, is a collection, is a iterable. Means what? C means what? Open the Java docs, please. And open the class ArrayList. Or whatever I'm saying, please confirm it from the Java docs. And you can see it has implemented iterable, collection interface methods, and the list. And it has a special another method called as random access. So this random access, thanks to this random access interface, you can just supply the index in your get method and the value, the element can be found out. More on this later. So coming back to this, now you saw this. Just look for Control F, search, and search for the method iterator. So you can see that. You can see, okay, you can click on this and you tell me, is this a abstract method or is it a concrete method? I'm showing you from ArrayList class, A or C, abstract or concrete. Of course, concrete. Why? Because your ArrayList class is a concrete class. We created the instance of it yesterday. So the moment it is a concrete class, of course, all those interface methods, which methods I'm talking about? The iterables method, collection interface method, and list interface method are all implemented by ArrayList. And you can see that there is a method iterator. This is what I was talking about. But if you should be smart. You should be like watchful. And it tells you specified by iterator in collection interface. But which is a super interface of collection? Iterable. So now you click on iterable. You come to this supermost interface. Iterable, collection, list, and ArrayList. Okay. And you can see T is nothing but the type of the elements returned by this iterator. And you can see, read this. Whatever I'm taking, I told you, is from Java docs. Implementing this interface allows the object to be target of enhanced for loop. What is enhanced for loop? For each. So this is nothing but for each. So what they are trying to tell you in simple, I mean, I'm simplifying the English part of it. Any class which has implemented iterable, will you be able to attach iterator and access the entire collection? Answer is very much yes. You got me? So let's check it further. I mean, your clarity further. I'll just open this. Am I going to start with sets? Of course not. Today, you know, we are meeting only for 2 hours. So I just want to show you iterator, sorting, and something called as anonymous inner class. And if possible, starting nested class. That is our agenda. So coming back to the point, see the hierarchy. Iterable, extended by collection. Like how collection is extended by list, collection has another sub-interface called as a set. We are not doing the set today because we have not yet, I mean, I still not completed the list. So, but just take a look at it. And this set interface has been implemented by 3 implementation classes, hash set, linked hash set, and a tree set. Okay. You don't write it down because we are still in the list. I have a question to ask. So if somebody asks you, popular question again, will you be able to attach an iterator to hash set, linked hash set, and a tree set? What is your answer to that? It's a Boolean question, yes or no? Of course, yes, you are very right. And why you'll say this? Thanks to inheritance hierarchy. So tell me, can I say hash set, linked hash set, and the tree set? Can I say is a iterable? Yes. Hash set is a set, is a collection, is a iterable. And whatever is iterable, whichever class has implemented iterable, you can attach the iterator to it. Are you getting my point? But I have not drawn this, but you have it. Map is a different ball game. As in map doesn't come under this hierarchy at all. So if I ask you, when I show you maps, when we meet again, so in maps, you have 3 implementation classes, hash map, linked hash map, and the tree map. So let me ask you my last question on this. Will you be able to attach iterator to these maps? It's a Boolean question, yes or no. Will you be able to attach the iterator to the hash map, linked hash map, and a tree map? So people are saying yes. So just a second, because I don't have that whole slide. I'll show you here from here. Give me a second. So here, because I've not drawn this here. Tell me guys, look at this picture and tell me. We'll see below map, there is a hash map, linked hash map, and below sorted map, there is a tree map. So think again and tell me, do you think you will be able to attach an iterator to the maps? Are you understanding guys? Your answer was wrong. What is the question? What is the key question you have to ask? Is map iterable? Is map extending from collection? Answer is no. Guys, iterable is here. Why I have not drawn in this slide? I will explain already. It is not the part of the standard collection framework, so I can't draw it here. But you know this. We are here iterable, collection, set, list, etc. So tell me, is map iterable? Is map extending from iterable or collection? No. So how can you attach? Okay. So this, just looking at the whole inheritance diagram, collection framework overview, you should be able to answer. I mean, you will be able to answer. So now tell me, focus on collection. I'm still into a revision, but I'll just wrap it today faster because we have limited time. Are there any concrete implementation classes of collection interface? It's a yes or no question. Answer is no. Answer is no. Little bit of revision is required. I've given in writing on that picture. If you've drawn the picture, you will know that. So there are no concrete implementation classes because the only thing which collection interface represents is all the basic general API. Add all, contains, size, remove all, retain all. But it does not impose any specific behavior. You got that? So that is why there are no implementation classes. But when I say list, you have certain features associated with the list. So let me ask you, is list, don't think in set or map, that is later. Focus only on list. So tell me, is list an ordered collection or unordered? O or UN? Yes, Prashant, you're right. Of course, it is an ordered collection. Means what? If you add the elements in the list, and if you attach a for each or the iterator, will it give you the output in the same order or a different order? Answer is same. It remembers the order of insertion. Got me? Next one. Does list support index-based operations? Yes or no? Yes. Can you name few index-based operations which we have seen yesterday? We have seen so many. So just give me an example. Index of. Yes. Anything else? Get method. Yes, you are right. Anything else? Add. Add with the index means what? No, contents is not index. This one. Himanshu, contents doesn't involve any index. Are you understanding? See. Wait a second. Here, I'm talking about these methods. So see, contents method. Okay. See, can you see this? These add with index means insert. Add all means insert all. Get by index. Find the index of first occurrence. Find the index of last occurrence. Remove the element at the specified index, left shifting all the elements. Replace a particular element, the old element by a new element, and return that old element. So these are index-based API. And like somebody said, contains, check. So open your ArrayList. I'll just open the ArrayList. And if you say contains method, okay. So see this. Are you seeing any index here? Of course not. So that is why you cannot say that contains is a, what is it called? Index-based API. Okay. So my main question was, does list support index-based operations? 100% yes. Now, how about the next question? Next, I'm asking you, will you be able to attach a for loop to the list? List means ArrayList linked list vector. Possible or not possible? Of course, yes. The moment I say it is an index-based collection, of course you can. This is the understanding. Will you be able to attach iterator and a for each? Answer is yes. Will you be able to attach the for loop? Answer is yes, because it is an index-based collection. And the earlier answer, why for each? Because ArrayList is iterable. Are you understanding the statements I'm making, guys? Is it clear so far? Great. Now, something else. Will you be able to add a null reference? Will you be able to add the nulls to the list? Answer is yes. Will you be able to add multiple occurrences, duplicates in the list? Yes, because those are the differences. When I take you to set some other time, so you will see all these answers are no. Some of the answers are no in the set. Okay, and then we had started looking at ArrayList. So here we had started looking at ArrayList constructors. And as you can see, I have shown you the first two, the one with this. So when you use the default constructor, what size, what capacity? Everyone knows the answer. 0 and 10. It's an empty list. So how empty means size is 0. How about this? Size is still 0. And whatever capacity you want, it will be creating that particular capacity. So if you saw yesterday's diagrams, I hope you have looked at it. I don't know which, no, not this whiteboard. If you see whiteboard 1, you can see that. So if you create, how does that ArrayList object look like? It looks like an array, but traditionally we draw array in a vertical manner, ArrayList in a horizontal manner. So you can see the right shifting of the elements, left shifting and all that. Okay. So the ArrayList class gets loaded. This was an example of ArrayList of integers. Class pointer as usual points to the loaded class. And here power on means when you create the ArrayList object, There are 10 slots if you go by default constructor, all filled with nulls. And when you say list.add and integer, so I don't have to create an integer type of reference. You have auto boxing. So if I say list.add 100, what will happen? Will 100 get added as a value or will it be auto boxed? Tell me, V or A, value or auto boxing? What will happen? Of course, auto boxing. So that is the time, first time you create an object, integer class will be created, loaded in the memory. This is your integer object created, whose class pointer is pointing to integer class. And what does an integer wrapper hold? An int value. So it will hold that int value. Suppose I say 100, so then it is 100 here. And its reference, collection is collection of references. So its reference is added in the array list. And if you say once again, list.add 100, another object will be created, and its reference will be added in the array list. So, and then we had solved the complete CRUD assignment for your employee. So this is what we had covered yesterday. So now today I would request that focus on iterator. I'll show you how to attach iterator and do the things. So let me just show you something. So this part you have not drawn. Looking at the limited time, if I'm sharing this, or rather I have already shared this yesterday, so you can write it later. So I'll recap. Iterable has the interface, a method iterator, which returns you an iterator. And now focus on these methods. So which are these methods? These are the methods of your iterator interface. So first understand what it is. Is it a generic interface? Yes. What does it represent? Iterator is nothing but the cursor that can traverse over any collection. Why I'm saying any collection? Because collection is a iterable. So read the words carefully. But what is the limitation of the iterator? It is forward only, type forward only. Okay, means what? When you attach, you're going to see all this in next 5 minutes. So just give me those 5 minutes. So here, when you attach the iterator, where the cursor will be attached, I'll show you from the memory picture. So here, we are going to attach iterator in a minute. So here, suppose I take a simple example of integer list. So the iterator is attached before the first element. Okay. And then there are 3 methods in the iterator interface: has next, next, and remove. Forget remove. So first let us look at has next and next. So you don't know how many elements are there in the using iterator. So you will simply write a while loop. While iterator dot has next. So think and answer. When you say has next, your cursor is here. Can you see this? Before the I1. So what it will check, is there any element next to the position of the iterator? So what is answer? Yes or no, Boolean, true or false? It is true. So iterator dot has next returns true. And then which is the method to actually get the element out? Answer is next method. So when you say while iterator dot has next, and then inside the loop you say iterator dot next, what happens? Iterator passes over the element. So now tell me, what will be the position of the iterator after the first element? When I say first, what I mean is 0th element. This I'm calling it as the first element. And this returns the element to the caller. I'll repeat the statement again. First, we are going to say iterator dot has next. So it will just check, is there any element next to the position of the cursor, next to the position of iterator? Answer is yes. So so in the loop we will say, in the body of the loop we'll say iterator dot next, whatever variable we create, it or something. So when you say itr dot next, it returns the element, of course, to the caller, and the position of the iterator is shifted between first and the second element. Loop continues, so you solve it now. Again, we'll be having while iterator dot has next. So tell me, is there any element to the next of the iterator? Of course, yes. So has next return true. And when I say itr dot next, what will happen? Iterator passes over the element, returns I2. Likewise, returns I3, I4, I5. So how many times loop will iterate? Count and tell me. How many times loop will iterate? For if there are such elements in this, 5 times. Now, where is the iterator position? Iterator position is after the last element. So next time, when you say itr dot has next, what will it return? True or false? Of course, false. And the entire iteration is over. Okay. So this is our first objective, attaching the iterator and seeing things. Okay. So here, just open. Yesterday's one assignment, one part is remaining. We will cover that, but little later. So let me just show you with the iterator. So I would request, I can't insist. I would request that you work along with me because you don't have a separate lab session today that way. You have the remaining day as a holiday, of course. So if you want, you can definitely work with me. Day 13.1. And the first thing we are going to do is attach the iterator. So that's our first objective of today. So we are still into lists. Today we are going to be in the list. This I'm going to say test iterator. And for the purpose of explanation, I'm going to start with a simple integer list. So this part we have done yesterday. So I hope nobody will have any questions. Purposefully, I'm giving something like a unsorted data. Okay. So here, and then create empty ArrayList. Okay, what I'll do is, yeah, I was going to change it to strings, but anyway, forget it. I've written it already. So let me continue. Create empty ArrayList and populate it with array data. Okay, we did exactly the same. So I hope you'll be able to do it on your own. ArrayList, integer, and here let's say ArrayList of integer, let's say list, int list and all, new. Do it parallelly. This part, nothing is new. For each int I in data. What is it we are having is, which is the method to append the element, add I. And just confirm using this, when I say list, so you should be able to see the list contains. Everyone 100% clear so far? There's nothing which we have done, which is, new or whatever. Okay, so this is your thing. So now this is for testing. This is fine. But this is calling, okay, before that, because there was some confusion yesterday, somebody was asking me questions. So anyone wants to tell me in this line, think and answer. In this line, is there any auto boxing, auto unboxing happening? Is there any conversion, implicit conversion in this line? Tell me, is it yes or no? Because there was a question yesterday. Somebody is saying, you are saying yes, wrong. What is happening? I is equal to data of 0. I is equal to data of 1. But what is the type of I? Int. What is the type of data of 0, data of 1? Int. So guys, no conversion. No implicit conversion. Are you understanding me? But here, when I say this, tell me, list is what? List type is of the integer. So here, tell me, is there any implicit conversion happening or no conversion is happening? Here, Guys, you are still mixed up. Sushant, wrong. Here, tell me, what is it has to be converted? I is what? Int. So int has to be converted into integer. What is the internal code compiler will call, you know? Compiler will say list.add. You remember the method I showed you? Integer.value of and I. So which conversion are we talking about? Primitive to wrapper. So what do you call it? Auto boxing. You got this? Is everyone clear? Because yesterday I got a question regarding something like this. So now let me take the opposite one. Okay. Are we 100% clear so far? Everyone agrees? Understands. But if I say now, see, for printing the list contents, I'm writing everything. Can you attach for each to the list? What is the question? What is the answer? Of course, the answer is yes. So if I say, listen to this, people got confused yesterday. For each int I in a list, okay? And if I say SOP I, observe guys, here I had said for each int I in data. Here I'm saying for each int I in list. So guys, tell me, is there any conversion, implicit conversion happening or no conversion is happening? Of course, you are right. So what is happening is list is full of integer type of references. So what it does is it internally attaches the iterator, has next, next and all, and it converts integer reference to what? What is it converting integer into, int, using which method? You remember a method I showed you, int value. So what is this conversion called? Is it boxing conversion automatic or it is auto unboxing? Of course, it is auto unboxing. So don't get mixed up, guys. And here it will call. So once you have converted, it is just displaying the contents. So don't get confused in the conversions. Nothing fancy. You got it. So now I'm asking you, you could do this, right? But I want more. I just now explained you something. So let me ask you, can you attach explicit? This was an implicit iterator. What is for each? For each is nothing but implicit iterator. So I'm asking you, can you attach explicit? Can you attach an iterator explicitly? Just answer the question, Boolean question, yes or no. Will you be able to attach the iterator explicitly? Of course, yes, that is what I spent time on. See, when you say for each is nothing but iterator, of course, the answer is yes. So the next question is how? Anyone wants to tell me? Your answers are in this slide, which I have shared yesterday with you. So first start. Which is the method you want to call? Lowercase iterator. So let us attach the iterator here. Okay, one by one. So first step is attach iterator. So I will write the, okay, let me write the whole thing. So what is the return type? If you are confused, guys, I can suggest one more thing. You go to ArrayList and here search for a method, which is nothing but iterator. I don't think it should be confusing, but still. So you will see this is a list iterator. Don't worry about that. Here. So this is the method I'm calling. So dictate accordingly, write accordingly. So here I have got a list. So what is the method? Iterator. Read the pop-up help. Returns the iterator over the elements in this list in the proper sequence. So this is your iterator. Anyone wants to tell me what should be the LHS? I want to assign it to something. Type out your answer. Kunal, you have a problem. Yes, you are right. Kunal, see your this thing. You have given me the parenthesis. It's not a parenthesis. It is returning you the iterator reference. So here, iterator. Is it a generic interface or non-generic interface? Generic interface. Anyone wants to tell me what will be the type of this iterator? T will be replaced by what? Integer. Very right, guys. Good going. Because list is what? List is of the type integer. So naturally the cursor type is going to be an integer. So here integer and give the variable name. So just a second. I just did the import. If you have not done the import, you'll get a compiler error. I just said Control Shift O. So tell me, what is happening here? You have attached the iterator to the list. Can anyone tell me what is the position of this iterator? Anyone wants to answer? Is it on the first element or is it before? Yeah, I got it. I thought so, Kunal. Is it before the first element or is it on the first element? Answer is cursor. This iterator is placed before the first element. Okay. So can I ask you, when we write has next, we are going to loop over it. How many times it will loop over? Size of the list. So what is the size? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. For me, I have got eight elements. I don't know what elements. So those many times it is going to iterate. So which is the method to check if there is a next element at all? That method is has next. Am I telling you that you have to remember all this API today? Not today, but over time you have to. All these are the important ones. So just click on this. It will take you to iterator interface. E or T does not matter. It's just a generic type. And they tell you so nicely, iterator over the collection. So you can read all of that later. And forget about these default methods that I'm going to explain you in functional programming. Focus on these three. So which methods I'm talking about? Has next, next, and remove. And look at one at a time. What is has next doing? Returns true if this iteration has more elements. So come back to the code and start dictating while. I don't know how many elements are there, right? So while what I should be saying is iterator dot has next. Understood so far? Yes, has next is the method. So now here I'm doing something. Okay. So here, so this has extracted the element or has it just checked if the next element exists? Answer is it had just checked it. Like you remember scanner class has methods, has next in, very similar. Okay. And now if I want to get the element at that iterator position and advance the cursor to the next element, which is the method, the name of the method next, very right. So here I just want to display it, SOP itr dot next. So what it just read the pop-up help returns the next element in the iteration. So you did this. Okay. So it happens. There are two things which happens. Returns the next element and advances. Advances means moves forward. It cannot, it is a type forward only. You cannot go back using iterator. For that, you have something called as list iterator later. So returns the next element and advances the iterator. Advances the iterator to the next position. So this is what it will do. So here we are just displaying the element. You can do whatever with it, whatever you want with it. So if you say that, okay, this I was doing it with a for loop also or for each loop also, I'm just showing you my iterator. So let us give some title here. I'm giving so that you will know what output corresponds to what. List elements via iterator. Okay, and run this and confirm, please. Output is going to be the same. So this was via for each loop, which is implicit iterator, and this is via your explicit iterator. Of course, it is an ordered collection, so we'll show you the same. Got it so far? I'll send you this. If anyone wants it, I'll send you the code. Yes, you are right. This one, Yash. So here, in case you want it, if you already written it, ignore my code. So this is the simplest, introduction to iterators. Anyone wants to tell me what will happen? Just observe and conclude. These are all the favorite questions. If I say this, before you start answering, tell me what is the position of the cursor? Or the cursor is nothing but iterator. After this loop is over, don't tell me wait, tell me properly. Yes, please. Have you raised your hand, Anshuman? Or is it by mistake? I don't know. Anyway, so here, what will be the position after the last element? Okay. And after that, if I say SOP ITR.next. So after the last element is the correct this. So say explicitly. So what will happen at this point? Anyone wants to guess? So you have two options. Will it print null or will it throw you the exception? I got the answer as null. Wrong answer, guys. You remember I said the collections only can iterate over size or over capacity. Answer that. Answer is over size. So you are going to get an exception, no such element. Try this out. It just takes a minute to understand with ID. See this. Rest of the things worked as happily as before. And the moment you try to access the element beyond the size via iterator, which is the exception you got, no such element exception. So, and if you click on this, you will see that it is on this line. So this will definitely throws the exception. And which exception? No such. It's from java.util element exception. So tell me, should you ever use iterator.next without checking has next? Answer is never. Always use has next first and then proceed to just check whether there is a next element and otherwise do that. I mean, then only do that. So this is your simple working of iterator. Is iterator clear? No, Gaurav. Index out of bounds is different. Diksha, Gaurav, you are mixing up in the exceptions. If you use the get method, any index-based method, and if you give the index out of range, then that throws you index out of bounds. But if you are working with iterator and you try to access the element beyond the size of the list, it doesn't throw you index out of bounds. You saw just now, right? It throws which exception, guys? It throws no such element exception. You understood what I'm trying to say? Clear? Great. So all these things, since they are so important, I have mentioned them clearly in the collections readme. So here, okay, this is the ArrayList iterator. Yesterday itself I shared. So in collections readme, I'm going to tell you, I'll send you I'll keep uploading on Google Drive. So here, lot of things I have mentioned. One thing which I have written is regarding the exceptions with iterator and the list. So I'm not going to take all because it takes time and I want to show you sorting today. So here is that exception I have mentioned. So no such element exception is thrown whenever you are trying to access the element beyond the list, beyond the size of the list using either iterator or using something called as a list iterator. So I have not yet discussed the list iterator. I have just talked about the iterator. And Gaurav and Diksha, if you say you are trying to access the element by index and that index is out of range beyond 0 to size -1, which exception you will get then? That time you will get your index out of bounds exception. You got the difference between the two. These are the two different exceptions you get in two different cases. Everyone, I hope, got it. Okay, great. So now this was a bit I wanted to show you, and I'll show you today a ready-made diagram for iterators. So let's see. Yeah. Okay. So here, just look at the code. Everything. I mean, I'm not going to. I don't want to redraw because if I start drawing, it takes me at least 10 minutes to draw. So imagine that you have got an array list of employees. Look at the code and corresponding memory picture I'm going to explain. So array list of employee, let's say L1 equal to new array list. What will get loaded? ArrayList class in the method area. ArrayList object gets created. How many slots will be created? What is the initial capacity default? 10. So all these 10 slots filled with nulls. That's our starting point. Now focus further. When I say L1.add new employee and some employee details, ID, name, salary, whatever, what will happen? Now this is the first time you are creating employee object. Employee class get loaded in the method area and the employee object gets created elsewhere. Elsewhere means not within the ArrayList. There's no capacity in that. ArrayList is list of references. So the employee object gets created and its references, its addresses, references stored in the first slot. Same thing will happen for the second addition. Append it is basically it is append. Keep on adding it to the end. So after these three things, what will be the size of the ArrayList? After I add 3 elements, what will be the size? Obviously 3, capacity 10. You got me? And all these class pointers, because it is an employee class, are referring to employee. Now, why I'm showing you this picture? Because I wanted to actually show you. Why don't I open it? Give me a second. I'll just open it in Paint so I can make I can explain better. And then I have a control to edit it. So now see the code. Here we are. Here I'm saying, let me change color so I can show you actually. So this is the line now. What is it happening here? Just now we wrote the code. So I'm showing you the internals. Here you are attaching the iterator. And what does the iterator method return? Iterator of the type of the list. So in our earlier example, it was integer list. In this example, it is an employee list. So what you have got is iterator of the type employee. So anyone wants to tell me, when I say L1.iterator, I've already shown here, what is the position of this iterator? Is it on the first element or is it before the first element? Answer is before. So here I'm going to start drawing. So this is where my iterator position is. Okay, everyone clear? Because you see the memory picture, you start understanding. Now, when I say while iterator dot has next, what it is going to check? Is there any element next to the iterator? What is the answer here? For the first time, what will it return? True or false? Of course, true. So here, SOP, when I say itr dot next, so what it will do? It will do two things. First thing, it will return the reference to the caller. So ref1 is returned. So when I say SOP ref1, it is pointing to employee. So we'll print employee details and it will take the cursor. It passes the cursor over the element. So where is my cursor position now? Where is my iterator? My iterator is after the first element. I'll repeat the last statement again. When I say iterator dot next, the iterator passes over the element. So it is now between first and the second element and it returns the element that it passed over to the caller. So now solve it for the second one. When you say iterator dot has next, what will it return? True or false? Quickly. Of course, true. There is an element here. So when I say itr dot next, how will you show? Iterator passes over this element. So the position of the iterator is here and this element, this reference is returned. And likewise, for the last time, here it passes over the element here. Iterator position is here. Can you see this? And it returns this ref3. But after that, see, the size is 3, capacity is 10. So all nulls are sitting here. So when you say for the next time itr dot has next, will it return true or will it return false? Answer is false. And that is how the iteration is over. Are you understanding it with the memory picture clearly? Everyone is clear? Okay. And as I keep saying you guys, I want you to be excellent Java developers. So those who have not still believed in Java, start using it, please. So here, Whole of this is nicely explained. I'll show you where. Explain means shown with the diagram. So there is a list iterator today I'm not taking, but I wanted to show you that what I have drawn is not like just blindly or whatever, with understanding with this. So see this. These cursor positions they have marked. So when you attach the iterator, these cursor positions are marked. So here, where is the cursor? Where is the iterator? Before this element. Then it passes over the element, returning element 0. Passes over the element, returning first, I mean 0th, first, second, third. And when you come to the end of the list, the iteration gets over. Understood the statements, whatever I said? Is it clear? Okay, so this is what I wanted to introduce. So let me see whether you can actually apply it to our yesterday's code. So what I'll do is, just a second. If you can't do it first, that is okay. You can just sit back and look. But if you can, you can of course code along with me. So does everyone have day 12 lab? Just copy that day 12 lab. You don't have a separate lab session to day 13 lab. I'm just making a copy, for sharing it becomes easy for me that all this I have to share with you on Google Drive. So I've just made a copy. If you don't want to make a copy, continue in day 12 lab or your own code, yesterday's code. Now let me open and I'm just going to ask you a very easy question, giving you a minute to write. So this is our test employee organization. Everyone opened it? Those who are coding along, have you opened it, guys? I'll wait here for a minute if you are not. Till you say you are opened. Done that? Okay. So you remember we have this option, display all employee details. So go to that. This is your easiest case. So what I want is, now comment these two lines. How do you comment? Mark it, control /. If you're a Mac user, command, of course, command /. And what I'm saying is, display employee details using iterator. It's a 2 minutes question. Okay, so we have done this yesterday using implicit iterator. Replace it by explicit iterator. Write the code and tell me. Send the code. Akash, I had sent this yesterday, day 12 lab. I just copied the day 12 lab into day 13 lab. Anyway, if you want, if you insist, I'll send it again. But I'm not changing anything yet. Anyway, if you see yesterday's Google Drive, I had sent, see this one, Akash. I had sent day 12 lab data and it had this. But anyway, let me send you this again. Day 13 lab. Yes, Prashant, that is the first line. I want the second line also. I see the required. Oh, I sent it to, okay, I sent it. Fine. So here, that's your first line, very right. But what about it? You just attach the iterator. I want you to display the employee details using iterator. So give me more code. Anyway, I'll also start parallelly with you. So first step is attach the iterator. So now, what will be the type of iterator? What will be E? Replaced by? E is nothing but a placeholder type. It will be replaced by, of course, our employee. Okay. And you can give a name as employee iterator. You can give suitable variable names. And the left right hand side will be employee list dot iterator. What is the position of the iterator? Before the first element. Got it? Next one. Now you just have to use your while loop. While employee iterator dot has next. I told you I just want to display it. Nothing fancy, nothing difficult. All you have to say is SOP employee iterator dot next, and that's it. Yes, you are right, Prashant. So do this. And if you open yesterday's sequence, I've shared some data, some sample data with you. Yes, Sumit, you're right. Diksha, yes, it is correct. Absolutely right. So guys, please check whatever you have written against this. And as I was saying, in yesterday's sequence, I don't know whether you got time to look at that. Day12 lab data. I'd given you the sequence. I'm sending you this again, some sample data, so that you know, you don't have to like think about all those rules. We have got this validation rules, right? So I'm sending you again that sample data. You can of course change it. If you have your own sample data, do use. So just test it and we'll go to the sorting part. So here, just at least add 2-3 samples. So you know whether you'll know whether the iterator is working at all. Okay, so I have got some employees hired, 3 employees. And when you say display all employee details, output is of course going to be the same. So this is your iterator going over the employee list and displaying employee details. Tell me, worked or did not work? I'll wait here for a minute. Is it working, guys? Test it, test it. I've sent you the sample data so people can use it without wasting time. Very good. So this was some concept about iterator. There is a lot. There's something called as when will you get illegal state, when will you get concurrent modification, etc. But I don't want to, I mean, in the limited time of today, I don't want to start that. When we meet again after a break, then I will explain. So you can exit from this. Exit option is what, 10. And I will remind you of something what we said yesterday. So here, this is, I hope everyone has finished. So let me go back to my day 13.1 test iterator. I'm continuing in that. Integer, everything I want to show you first with the integer, and then we will apply to our employees. That is how I take it. So I'm running now that integer list iterator. I'll have to comment it, otherwise I'll get an exception. Okay, so here I have a question to ask, simple question to ask. Whether you attach a for each or whether you are attaching an explicit iterator, this output, is it a ordered output or is it a sorted output? I asked you yesterday also. Everyone understands it is as per the order of insertion. But when we say you come to the collection framework advertises is advertised as ready-made implementation of searching, sorting algorithms, list functionality, set functionality, etc. So here there is a class. What is the name of the utility class? Don't get confused. Collection is the name of the interface, which is super interface of your list, set, and queue. But the class I'm talking about, it is the name of the class is collections. So be clear. You can open parallelly in Java Docs. This is a utility class, or I would say a helper class for different purposes, for searching, sorting, shuffling. So many activities on collections. Okay. So I'm not going to show you all the API. I'm just going to talk about one method. So there is a method. I'll show you. It has got a huge generic syntax. So that detailed generic syntax I'll explain when we meet again. So if you open collections class, there is a generic, there is a, static method, public static void, and the method name itself is sort. Some people call this as sort, and here it takes list of elements to be sorted. Okay, so understand my statements. So what is the name of the class we are going to use? Is it collection or is it collections? Answer is with S. Collection is the interface. Collections is the class. And it has got lot of utility methods for manipulating collections. Okay, so now, which is the method I'm explaining today? Only one method, sort. So tell me, if I want to call the sort method, and when it is static, do I have to create the instance, or I can directly call it as collections.sort? Everyone knows it. I can call it directly, or you can use import static also. Now tell me, now answer the next question. Let's see your understanding. So be little careful in answering. Here, will I be able to, okay, let me write down the question. Will you be able to sort the elements of ArrayList, A is for ArrayList, linked list, vector. Then the other set implementation classes are hash set. Okay, you don't know that, so I'll write the full this. There is something called as linked hash set. And then this is something called as tree set. And there are map implementation classes whose name, all these things you are going to learn, but over time, not today. Hash map, linked hash map, tree map. Just let me finish with my question and I'll explain. Will you be able to sort the elements of these using above method? So don't start answering. Let me explain my question to you. So the question being asked is, this is the method I'm giving you of the collections class, collections.sort. So will you be able to use this method to sort the elements which are from ArrayList linked list vector, hash set, linked hash set, tree set? You can give the numbers. So you can tell me those options. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So which elements will you be able to sort using this? So Sushant has given me some answer. Okay, you are all right. Not just Shubham, not just ArrayList linked list. Here, see how you answer. Correct answer is only these. So the answer to the question is, only you will be able to do this much. Why? Because guys, I have told you long back, inheritance, polymorphism are the fundamentals of your Java or any object-oriented language. So you just have to apply is a relationship. So tell me, what is it they expect us to pass? A list. So can I say ArrayList is a list? Quick answer, simple question, simple answer. Yes. You remember the hierarchy. That's why I told you to draw it. Those who have not drawn it, draw it today, later, today, tomorrow, whenever you get time. So ArrayList is a list, of course. Linked list is a list, and so is vector. Somebody did not give me the vector. Look at this, guys. Everything you can confirm so easily. I'll just show you. So we are still here. So let me confirm, because this is an important one. So click on list interface and you can see these are all the implementation classes. Important ones are ArrayList, linked list, and vector. Vector we don't use. I'll tell you later. Vector is a legacy class, thread safe and all. But as a information you should know. So tell me, can you tell me, can I say vector is a list? Yes or no? Boolean question. Of course, yes. Are you getting it? Very good. This one, Shubham. So the point is, what is the answer here? Answer is first 300%. But now proceed here. Can I say hash set, linked hash set, tree set is a list? Of course not. It's a pure. Set is not a list. Set is a collection and iterable, but it is not a list. So how can compiler allow? And map is even further. Map is not even below the collection. So map is also not the list. So those who answered, I mean, I hope everyone is clear by now. This is possible. Okay. Now see the, when I say, when you are learning collection framework in Java, you don't have to write a sorting algorithm. So when I say something, of course, I should justify, I should explain. So look for collections class. In the collections class, you will find a method sort. This I told you, it's a heavy generic syntax, which you'll understand later. But if you read, if you click on this, all this you're going to understand, but little later, not little, much later. And it says that implementation node, it internally uses some other method. And here they tell you the implementation. So here it says the default implementation obtains the array, etc. This is what you are going to learn in your data structure module. And what it internally uses is an iterative merge sort. So if you are confused what she is talking about, what is that adaptive iterative merge sort, that will be covered in your data structure module. And the best news which I can give you is, somebody was asking me yesterday, do you have to write the sorting algorithm if you have collection framework with you in Java? It's a yes or no question. Answer is no. This collections.sort method has already implemented. So you just have to call it. And how do you call any static method? You know that. So collections.sort. And what is it we are passing here is the integer list. So what is the name of the list variable here? Okay, list I have got. I have not got integer list. I'll say list. So tell me guys, here, is it returning void or non-void? It is returning void. So what it does internally is, it takes those first two integer elements, checks which is greater or, I mean, suppose I say I1 and I2, two elements, it will check the int value. If I1's int value is lesser than I2, will it shuffle the elements or will it keep it as it is? If I1 is already less than I2, will it shuffle the element, swap the element, or will it keep it as it is? Of course, it won't shuffle. It is a ascending order. So I1 is already less than I2. No shuffling, no swapping. But it is of course using internal merge sort. But if I1's int value is greater than, then it will shuffle, because it is going to give you the ascending order list. So all these internals later in your data structure course. But if I just print whatever list I'm giving, that itself is sorted as per the natural ordering. What is natural ordering for integer? Is it an ascending order or is it a descending order? Tell me. It is an ascending order, right? So here, see the output. So here I can just put a list. I had shown you this, I think, yesterday, but I'm just confirming. So just look at the last line of the output and tell me, did we have to write any sorting algorithm to achieve this sorting? Answer is no. Which is the method? Which method and which class? Which classes, which method we had to call? Collections classes sort. You understood what I'm saying? Is the sort function clear? Sort method clear? Okay. So now see. Now let us apply to our scenario and you will get a surprise. So close everything, Control Shift W. Now go back to day 13 lab. See, I don't want to sort the integers that I showed you. That worked fine, great, good. Now I'm saying I want to sort our user defined type as an employee. So please open day 13 lab. Add, open test employee organization, please. And let's add a new option here. So I had done it till 7. I don't know if you have added that additional objective. If I get time today, I will cover that. Otherwise, I'll just give you a hint. So here, sort the employees, maybe as per their employee ID. Sort employees. Okay, so suppose this is the requirement. My manager comes to me and says, Okay, we have got this employee data, organization data, sort them as per the employee IDs. And I hope you remember, since we are taking the ID, okay, sorry, I'll open this. Since we are taking the ID, I'm purposefully giving it in a unsorted manner. You can see that, right? So observe. So is the question, is the requirement clear? Because if the requirement is not clear, I can't go ahead. You understood it. So in short, let me ask you, I'm still giving you time. So suppose if this is the data, so can you tell me, after sorting as per the ascending order of employee ID, whose record should come first? Shivam's record should come first. Then Anisha's, sorry, my mistake. I'm sorry, I did not look at it. Sorry, Kiran, then Shivam, then Anish. If you further, I mean, mix it up. Like for example, if I say something, just a thing. So then you can say everyone knows ascending order. So Shivam, then Anish, then Kiran, and then Mihir. Is the output clear? Is the output completely clear? I mean, expected output. Okay. So now let us try it out, and you will be, you will be in for a surprise. So here, come to the next case. So case 8. Okay. Here. So we done this, and here sort the employees. And I'll just give a header, sorted employee list. Anyone wants to write the next line for me? I have already shown you that with an integer. Just try this out for employee. Just give me the next line. I'll just be back in a minute. Try typing it out. First type it in Eclipse ID and type it out here in the chat. Okay, so guys, tell me, are you ready with your code? That one-liner code I just wanted from you. Anyone wants to type it? Have you written? Am I audible? Okay, so what is that code? Have you written or have you not written? That one-liner code. Okay, so let's write it together. I did not understand because I did not get any response. So here, let's see, at least I got one response. Let's see. Collections.sort employee list. Why only Sushant? Why not everyone? I just told you, you have the method. You earlier you are passing integer list. Now pass the employee list. Yes, Suprabha. But now see this. You say collections, you can say control space. So it will get imported dot sort. And what is it you are passing is the list to be sorted, which is employee list. But here, observe something. Keep your observation clear. Are you getting there compiler error or no error? Is there a compiler error there? Answer is yes. So this is the beginning of the sorting topic in Java. Okay, so just take the cursor there. Just take a cursor over sort. If you think that it is because of import, you are thinking wrong. It is telling you, read that error message. You must have got this. The method sort in the type collections is not applicable for the argument of ArrayList of employee. So in simple English, what it is telling you is this employee list you cannot pass to the sort function. So that should start your thinking. So what is the type of the employee list? ArrayList of employee. So does it have the objection to ArrayList? No, because I can pass any list. ArrayList is a list, but it has the problem with your employee. So guys, think little bit. When we were passing the integer list, it happily worked. Understood what I'm saying? Just a moment back, we tried to sort the integer list. It worked nicely because when you say integer class has already implemented one interface. So do you remember what is the name of the interface for comparing two elements? Anyone remembers? I have shown you 2-3 places. Comparable is a very right answer. So where have you seen this comparable interface? You have seen it in the string class. String class implements comparable. Very right, guys. Date class implements comparable. And open your all numeric wrapper classes. Integer, long, short, double, float, etc. Byte and all. They are all comparable. But tell me, is your employee class, what is the type of the list? Generic type is employee. Has employee class implemented the comparable interface yet? What's the answer? Answer is no. Okay. And that is why why compiler detects it? Thanks to the generics. So here there is a slide. But I'm going to, since limited, we are today on the limited time, I'm going to get the things done. So wait a second. All this will be, of course, shared. So there is a separate slide. I mean, this is only one page you just have to know for understanding sorting in Java. So here, when you say sorting, there are two ways of sorting. One is called as natural ordering, which I'm starting you with first. And then something else is called as custom ordering later. So read this natural ordering. I have given the steps. So I'm going to explain step by step and we are going to implement. So focus here. Some authors call natural ordering as implicit as well as internal ordering. Means what? Sorting criteria. See, integer class has given the sorting criteria. Date class has given, strings have given. So sorting criteria should be within that user-defined type. So what is the user-defined type we are dealing with today? Employee. What is the type of the list? Employee. So that the sorting criteria should be inside the employee class. So take a look at the the steps. First step is our user-defined type, which is nothing but a generic type of the list, should implement which interface we are talking about? Comparable. Is comparable generic interface or non-generic interface? Generic interface. So comparable of type T. So let me just, I'll keep this, but okay, what I'll do is I'll send you this. So, you know, this picture will be with you. I'll be sending you the whole thing, but towards the end of the session. So here, I'm sending you this. Oh, sorry, I sent it to only one of you. Guys, please don't send me the direct message. So wait a second. Okay, so I have sent you sorting in Java PNG. Open that. And parallelly, I'll open something for you. Your string class. So, observe. When I say string class has implemented comparable of the type string because it wants to compare two strings. Open the date class, or you can look up from here. Date class is also comparable, but what is the generic type of comparable? Date, because it has to compare two dates. Look for your wrapper class integer. Sorry. And you will see, can I say integer is a comparable? Yes. But what is the type of the comparable? What is the generic type of the comparable? Integer. Are you understanding from the examples? So now tell me, when I say the first step is make the, you have to make the user defined type implement comparable. What will be the type T replaced by in our example? What will be T replaced by in our case? Of course, employee. So understand one step and do it with me. So because I'm going really slow over this. So we are in day 13 lab. Open your employee class. Okay, by the way, before you open, keep this code as it is. And you will see magically this error will get removed the moment you make those changes. So this part is keep it as it is. Okay, now open com app core employee. Anyone wants to tell me which line has to be modified? Give me the line number, please. Everyone knows it. Line number 9. Is my employee class currently comparable? Answer is no. So here add. What is the keyword for between the relationship between class and an interface? Of course, implements. So implements, which interface? Comparable. You can say control space. Choose comparable. And you should always read the pop-up help, at least first 2 lines. This interface imposes the total ordering on the objects of each class that it implements. And this is called as natural ordering. So what I'm discussing today is the natural ordering based on comparable. So click on that, choose that. And what is it? It is going to compare. What type of objects it is going to compare? Of course, employee. So this finishes step 1. Has everyone completed? Tell me whenever you are done. Done? Okay. Now refer to the step 2. So here, this first step is done. Here I take an example of a bank account. You know, you can change it to employee. Now, everyone knows the rule. Anytime a class implements an interface, it has to implement, it inherits the abstract behavior. So what is the method of that comparable interface which you have to implement? There's only one method. So user defined type must implement compare to. I hope everyone remembers string, seeing strings compare to, which is based on lexicographical ordering, dictionary order, date, depending on time, before, after type. So now you have to implement a method compare to. So what is that method signature? Public int compare to T O. O is reference variable name. So guys, there's no class such as T. So in our case, all occurrences of T will be replaced by, tell me, of course, employee, because we are going to write it in a minute. And now you know the rule. I've already given you the rule. This compare to method should return a negative number or 0 or a positive number. But when? So this means current object, invoker object, if it is less than the argument as per the sorting criteria. So can anyone tell me what is my current sorting criteria? What is our current sorting criteria? Sorting key. What is the sorting criteria? No. Ascending is the order, employee ID, the key. What is it we want to sort it as per? Do I want to sort it as per salary? No. I want to sort it as per the employee ID. So sorting criteria is employee ID. So how will you visualize the code? You write it in a if-else manner. If this dot ID is less than O dot ID, what will you return? Simply return -1. If both the IDs are same, which will not happen because we are taking care of duplicates, but you have to still return 0. And if this dot ID, invoker's ID, is greater than argument, what should you return? A +1. I'll repeat the statement again because we are going to implement this method in a minute. And what should this method return? A negative number, 0 or positive as per the sorting criteria. Understood the second step? Is everyone clear? Okay, so let us try it. Let us implement it. I hope you're observing. You are getting an error here because how can you how can you create a concrete class with abstract functionality? So which is the method we have to implement? Everyone knows the answer. So guys, this is your overriding form of the equals. Just add below that. Why I'm saying add below that? Because I want to show you generic versus non-generic and all of that. So which is the annotation to implement or override the method? At the rate override. So start with at the rate override. And you know, interface methods are all public. So you cannot narrow down the scope. Public int compare to. Don't make spelling mistakes. Anyone wants to tell me what was the argument there of the type T? T is replaced by what here? Employee. So you can say employee. And if you want to say another employee and all, it's fine. See, I always like to give the variable names properly. So one is this current employee comparing with another employee. Are you clear so far? Has everyone completed so far? Spelling mistake? Oh yeah, my mistake. You know, at override would have told me. Thanks for telling. So compare to. So right now it is cribbing because we have not returned anything. So here I'm saying for your understanding, right, in employees compared to. You have to confirm whether it is getting called at all. And guys, you are not going to call it. Who is going to call it implicitly? Who is going to call it automatically? Who is invoke this compare to method? Any guesses? Sort function. Very right, Yogesh. And yes, others. So sort function is going to call. You don't have to do anything. Like how yesterday contains was calling equals. Index of was calling equals. Sort function, the sorting algorithm function is going to call your sorting criteria. So now let us proceed. So start. If you can say this or you can omit this. So I'll just write it for the ones. If this dot employee ID. Oh, sorry. My mistake. I wanted to, I forgot. See, here in equals, first thing we were doing was instance of checking and the downcasting. So tell me, in writing this method, instance of checking required for downcasting, is it needed or not needed? Answer is 100% not needed. You remember the why generics part. So guys, this method comes from the generic interface. And the moment you say comparable of type employee, all occurrences of that T are replaced by employee. So that is why I asked you to put it next to equals. Is this a generic functionality? No. That is why we had to do the instance of checking and we had to do the downcasting. Here, no such thing. No, I mean, it's not required. I hope you understood. So now go ahead. If this dot employee ID is less than another employee dot, see, there's nothing required. What should I return? +1, -1 or 0? Any negative number also will do, but generally people return -1 +1. So of course, invoker is less than the argument, so return -1. Story is not over. You have to check three things. So if this dot, now I'll drop this because you know it is implicit. If employee ID means this dot employee ID is equal to another employee dot employee ID, what should I return, guys? -1 +1 or 0? Of course, 0. Oh, sorry. I forgot. Return. Okay. And if these two, see, I have always returned. If the control comes here, I don't have to do the checking. Simply say return +1. Understood so far? I'll give you a minute to confirm. This is your natural ordering in Java using comparable interface. Are the three branches clear here? You tell me whenever you have completed so I can proceed. So if the invoker is less than what? Another one, another employee's ID, return -1. If both are same, return 0. Otherwise, the control will come here, return +1. Please let me know whenever you are done. Completed it with understanding, guys. So what are the 2 steps out of 3? First step was, let the employee class implement comparable interface. The moment any class implements comparable, any interface, you have to implement the abstract functionality. So which is the method of comparable interface? Compare to. T is the generic type replaced by the employee. Why I replaced it with employee? Because here you have replaced it. You are telling the compiler, I'm comparing 2 employee objects. Okay, so now there is no instance of checking required. There's no downcasting required. Start the comparison. If invoker is less than the argument as per the sorting criteria, which is your employee ID currently, what is it you will return? -1. Otherwise 0, otherwise 1. Okay, so 2 steps out of 3 done. Now read the third step. So this third step we have already taken. So now use collections class API means method. And what is that method? You already have used it. Public static void sort, list to be sorted. So now here little bit of internals. When we call collections.sort, this sort method will automatically call which classes, which method, whatever is the type T. So in our case, T is replaced by employee. So which classes, which method will be called? Answer is employees compare to method will be called. So guys, be clear. What is your job and what is the JVM's job? So I'll give you options. I'll tell you the job and you tell me who performs it. Defining sorting criteria or supplying sorting criteria, job 1. Job 2, writing sorting algorithm. So tell me, the first job, who has to supply the sorting criteria? Programmer or JVM? Programmer is the answer. And who is going to supply the sorting algorithm? Collection framework, as in JVM. So are you understanding our roles? You should be very clear what is our job and what you are going to get automatically. So this will call internal sorting algorithm, which you will learn iterative merge sort. It's a specialized form of a merge sort, and it is popularly known by its author's name called as Tim's sorting algorithm. If anyone has a background of Python, I don't know really. So the same algorithm Python also uses, Tim's sorting algorithm. It gives you the best possible O factor, n log n types. So I'm not talking about that because it is still out of bounds. So now please open your tester and tell me, do you still have the compiler error on this line or the error gone? Compiler error is gone. Why? Because compiler is smart. Compiler, you have given the generics. So using that generics, compiler checks that employee list is a list, ArrayList it is, and what is the generic type of employee list? Employee. And is employee comparable? Very much yes. Are you getting me? So now let us confirm whether it is doing the job and is it calling our compare to function at all. Okay. So I'm telling you again, you can pick up this data. You can take this data. I'll send this again because I don't know whether you copied. Let's have the same data. Otherwise, you'll be confused if you're getting some different output. If you're not going to be confused, you can play with your own data. I'm just helping you with some sample data. Okay, so let's run this and confirm if your sorting is working. So quickly hire those employees. This is a unsorted data. First, print the data as it is. I mean, first say option 2. Okay. So you will see this is an unsorted data. Okay. So reach here and then use that option, sort the employees. So then say option 8 and tell me, is it calling your supplied or are supplied employees compared to method? 100% it will call. How many times? That depends on your data and that depends on that TIM sorting algorithm. And then when you say display all employee details, tell me, are you getting the employee details sorted as per ascending order of ID or not? I'll wait here. Are you getting the output correctly? So I hope you are finding this easy. Your job, the what do you say, feared or scary job is writing the algorithm and making it optimized. That job already collection framework has done for you. So now you'll understand when I say ready-made implementation of data structure algorithms, this is what I meant. So guys, I'm waiting for some more of you. Tell me, have you looked at, have you sorted the, I mean, are you looking at the sorted output? Great. So others who have not trying with me can definitely try this. This all will be shared, you know that. So you can try it whenever you want. Now let me see your understanding. So you can exit from that. Or yeah, the only pain is you have to always type the data. So let me ask you. My manager comes to me and says that, okay, fine, you've done the job, great. But now I want the data sorted as per some other criteria. Which criteria? Okay, so maybe I want to sort the, I want to see the report where employees are sorted as per their last name or anything as per their department or as per their salary or as per their join date. I'll give you just one example, otherwise you get confused. I'll give you the problem statement. Manager says, fine, this is a good report, but I want to see 2 reports. Okay, manager comes to you and says, you have to give me 2 reports. One is employees sorted as per what? Employee ID. So you say, I've done the job. But he says, no, from the same application, give me another report. Means what? Let's say option 9. You have option 8, user chooses option 8, he gets it. Now give me option 9, which will sort the employees as per their last name. You understood? Ankit, error is gone. Yeah. So are you understanding the question? So how to do that? If user comes to you and says, give me the last name based sorted data, what is it you will do? So look at the problem statement. So sorry. So here, open that employee class and tell me, let me see if anyone answering in compare to. Yes, Saurabh. Of course, answer is yes. But I wanted natural order and natural order is ascending order. But what you said is right. So here, tell me, in your, what is it called? In your employee class, can you implement compare to method one time or multiple times? Can you have multiple implementations of compare to method? Is it possible or not possible? Is my question clear? I'll repeat it because I got only few answers. I said, can you copy paste this once again? And I'll do it for you. And here, change it to the last name based criteria. Copy paste it again, change it to salary based criteria. Possible or not possible? Of course, not possible. It is like duplication. How can you implement the method in the multiple forms in the same? So I'm doing undoing, Control Z. I can't do this, right? So now we are in a fix. We have a problem. It is a very, what do you say, requirement. It's a normal requirement. I have to mute. Guys, please don't unmute yourself. Wait a second. Okay, so here I'm saying what happens, or is there any solution to the problem? The problem is, you understood the problem statement. When user says, case 8, I want to display the report. Here itself, I can write that SOP and all that. I want it sorted as employees. And in some other report, case 9, I'll write case 9. So, and if I say break, here, this should be sort the employees as per ascending order of employee ID. You got that? Whereas here I want ascending, descending doesn't matter. Like I told Saurabh, you just have to, like he only suggested, you can swap it. So sort the employees as per the last name. So if you are going the comparable way, the natural ordering way, the moment your employee class implements that comparable, I just can provide one type of a criteria. So there is a solution to this problem, which is called as custom ordering. So please open that slide. Here. See, oh, sorry. So all this while, we were talking about the natural ordering part. So answer the question. When you say natural ordering, which is the interface we implemented? Answer that. Which is the interface to implement in natural ordering? Comparable. Which is the method to override? Override means implement override. Which is the method we had to implement or override? Compare to. C is lowercase. And most importantly, where did you all do this? I mean, where did you implement or where did you write this compare to method? Within the UDT or outside the UDT? UDT means user defined type, within the employee class. And that is the reason you could supply only one comparison criteria. So now look at other option. So please look at the second option. So here we are entering the custom ordering. I wrote it in one slide because you can do the comparison clearly. So this is called as the explicit ordering, or it is also called as external ordering. Why? Because are we going to write the sorting criteria inside the employee class, inside the UDT, or outside the UDT? Answer is outside the UDT. So note the steps. Note means understand the steps and we'll perform it. So here we are going to create today a separate class. Time is almost getting over. So I can't show you anonymous inner class. And the lambda expression is the ultimate shortcut, functional programming. So ignore this or. So we are going to write in a couple of minutes a separate class. And now, which was the interface to be implemented in natural ordering? Comparable. Now, which is the interface to be implemented for custom ordering? It is java.util. That's a package name. And what is the name of the interface you are looking at? Comparator. Guys, to the beginner, it sounds very confusing. Comparable, natural ordering, sorting criteria, comparator, custom ordering. Okay. So first step is implement comparator. But what is this type T? It's a generic interface. So T is nothing but the type of the objects you want to compare. Or in simple words, whatever is the list generic type. So again, tell me, what is this type T going to be replaced by in our case? I hope you are answering correctly. Yes, it is employee. So let's do one step at a time and go ahead. So that's why I share this. What I'll do is I'll just open it in a pen, so I don't have to every time lose it. So here you keep this open and we are talking about these steps. So what is the first step? Create a separate class which is going to implement comparator of type T. Let's do it parallelly. So here, open that. You can say Control-Shift-W. You are in day 13 lab. So click on SRC, click on class. And since this is all for comparison purposes and this is a custom ordering, so let us give the package name correctly. So here I'm giving the package name as custom ordering. or you can say custom comparators, anything. And let's give a name of the class also with little bit of thinking. So tell me, what are the two objects, which type of objects you are going to compare? Employee types. Because see, I can always write it as my comparator, your comparator, but after 2 days, you will forget what it was comparing. So here, start with employee. Now tell me, which is that sorting key you want to use? I can do anything. So today, let us say to start with, because I've got just 5 minutes left. So here I want to compare them by their last name. So employee, last name. And since it is going to implement comparator, let me give the suffix as comparator. Sorry, spelling mistake. So see, even after you look at this class after a month, you will understand it from the name. So what should you understand? What are we comparing? Employees. As per what? As per the last name. And using natural ordering or custom ordering, NO for natural ordering, CO for custom ordering. You know, that is why I insist, give good names. So you have done this. Now tell me, which is the interface you want to implement? Is it comparable, java.lang.comparable, or is it java.util.comparator? It is comparator. So say implements compare. So you can just write few lines, say a few words, few letters, control space, and choose comparator from java.util. Okay. So here comparator, and what will be, so you'll see this gets imported, and what is that type T going to be replaced by? Everyone knows the answer, employee. So control space it, and this completes the first step. Let it have compiler errors. I'll wait here. I'm just reading the step. You have created a separate class which implements comparator of type employee. Tell me whenever you are done. Done this? Great. So now read the next step. What is that next step? The next step is, of course, you know the rule. Anytime you implement the interface, you have to implement its abstract method. So tell me, which was the method which we implemented from comparable? The method name was compare to. Here, the method name changes to compare. Observe, guys. Here, there was only one argument required because we were in the employee class. So one was this and one was another employee. But here, are you going to write this method inside the employee class or inside that comparator class? Within employee E, within comparator C, within comparator. So here you will have to pass two employee type of arguments. T will get replaced by employee because today we are in generic type as employee. So here it will be employee E1, employee E2. And best part is this part remains the same. Means what? Here also, what should compare method return? -1, I mean any number, negative number, if O1, first argument, is less than O2 as per the sorting criteria. If both are same, return 0 as per the sorting criteria. And if O1 is greater than O2 as per your sorting criteria, return +1. So guys, all you have to change is compare to method to compare. And instead of giving single argument, because the other argument was this, here you have to supply the two arguments. Clear so far? So if you are clear, let's write it. Are you understood what I said? If you are not clear, give 2 minutes and you will understand. So tell me, start with the annotation @ override. Be careful in spellings and all. Public int. What is the method name we have to implement? Compare. Earlier, it was compare to, now it is compared. And how many arguments you'll have to supply here? 1 or 2. It is 2 arguments. And what will be the type of these arguments? Employee. You can say, you can give the variable names, anything. and employee E2. So this is your this is just a blank method. Reached everyone? Everyone got it here? So again, for your understanding, please add a SOP in compare. So you'll know whether it is getting caught. Okay, so this finishes, not finishes. This the first step was create a separate class which implements comparator of the type, whatever is the list type. Start implementing the method. So now tell me, what is the sorting criteria? Sorting key, sorting criteria is last name. Everyone understands it? So I want to see the report as a dictionary order. So again, I will just ask you, because sometimes when you are not sure about the output, you will not understand. So here, let's say, so I'm look at only the last names, guys. Okay, so here what will be the sorted output? See, A comes first and rest is not there. So A. So here first record will be Kiran's. Now after that, okay, you can mix up. Let's mix up. Let's shift it above. Otherwise, you'll not understand what I'm saying. So here, first record should be A. So Kiran's record should be printed first. After that comes J. So Mihir's record should come then. And between Shivam and Anish, whose record should come first? Go by the last name. Oh, already somebody gave me this thing. Of course, see this. Here Singh, S and S is same. Now between I and H, what comes first? Tell me. H comes first. So what should come first? Anisha's record should come first. Are you understanding? So understand, this is an alpha H. H comes first or I comes first? H comes first, guys. Where are your alphabets? Here, A to Z I'm talking about. So here, whose record? So SH and SI. So the one with SH should come first. That's your ascending order. So this is the output we want. Is the everyone clear? Because some of you are giving me wrong answer. Is it clear? What is the expected output? Okay. So now come back here. So now answer. This is going to be based on last name. But tell me, will you be able to access the last name from this class? Employee's last name, can I access it from this class? Answer is no. Why? Respond fast so that we can finish fast. Of course, it is private. So now go to employee class. And what is it you'll have to add there? You will have to add a getter, tight encapsulation. Very right, guys. So have we got, oh great. So I don't know about you, but I have added a getter for get last name. So cool. So we already have it. So now I can't access it directly. So we will be accessing it using get last name. With me so far? Okay. So just give me a break. I have to take care of something. I'll be back in a minute. In a minute, I'll be back. Okay. So everyone, I hope understood that you will have to call the getter. But now, guys, tell me, what is the data type of last name? Is it a integer or is it a string? It's a string. So tell me, will you be able to write? I'll write something and you tell me correct or wrong. Okay. So if E1 dot get last name is less than E2 dot get last name, chalega ya nahi chalega? Works or doesn't work? It does not work. Wrong. First name, you're missing the point. Here I've written somewhere Oh, sorry. I mean, okay, that doesn't matter really. Anyway, so I'll correct my mistake. But that was not the point. The point was, will this work or not? 100% not. So suppose I say here, return -1. And suppose here I say, don't write this. I have a question here for you. Anyone wants to tell me why there is a compiler error on line number 13? You cannot compare the references. String is a reference type of a variable. So just take it here and it will tell you the operator less than is not defined for the string type. In short, references you cannot compare like that. So anyone wants to tell me the solution? Equals is a wrong solution. Guys, yes, Nimish is right. Somebody else also was right. If you remember, don't go by memory, go by understanding. Open the string class and tell me, has the string class already implemented comparable? Yes. Means what? Has it already given you the compare to method? Yes. And I have taken this in detail in our string discussions on some day. And you know that it is already returning 0, -1 or +1 as per the lexicographical dictionary order. So guys, your job is so easy. Nothing of the sort is required. So what is it we'll have to do? Simply call which class is which method? Strings compare to. So JVM or other Java API is helping you so much. You don't have to actually compute that dictionary order. It is already done. So one-liner. People have already dropped off. I understand today being an auspicious day and all, but still just continue for a minute. So here, what is the one-liner? Even dot. Do it with me. Don't say compare to. I don't want to compare by the IDs. So here, get the last name. Okay. So you got the first employees or whatever is that first reference last name. Then say compare to. So tell me, whose compare to method are we calling? Are we calling employees compare to or strings compare to? E for employee, S for string. Of course, strings compare to. And what is the argument you will supply here? E2 dot get last name. Let me not mess up. So see, you don't even have to do the comparison. String class has already given you this. So anyone tells me, what are the possible values it will return? Less than 0 or 0 or greater than 0. And when, if the last name comes before, dictionary order wise before, it will return negative number. If both last names are same, which is possible, 0, otherwise +1. Plus number. So looking at time, did everyone write this one liner? 2 lines in compare and this done. So last minute and we are really closing it for today. So here, go back because at least then you will have some idea about sorting. Open that option 9 and now see this. You had called earlier collections.sort with employee list. Now there is an overloaded method. So here you can look up the Java docs later. So first, okay, I'll write it in 2 steps. So the first step is create. Write the step along with me. Create instance of the class that implements comparator. So which is the class we wrote just now, which has implemented comparator? This one, employee last name comparator equal to new employee last name comparator. So you create the instance of the class and that instance you pass to the sort function. So there is an overloaded sort method. You know, overloading, different signature. So collections.sort. First argument is list to be sorted, employee list. And the second argument you are passing, which classes comparison function to call. So here you pass com. I'll wait here. These two steps, these two lines. If you want, since I have already extended the session, I'll send you. But it will be great if you type it on your own. If you understand and type it on your own. We are done. All the things are done. So just take a look at it. Here we have created the instance of the class which has that comparison criteria, and how many arguments we were passing for natural ordering. Label this as natural ordering, and this is your custom ordering. Okay, you got that? So now let us test it. Have you finished writing it, guys? Tell me yes or no, so we can test. You finished? Okay. Those who have not done it, try it later. So now run this. Only hassle is we have to type that data. So let's do it fast. You can give your own data, of course. There's nothing with data. And here, if you use, see this, if you use, what was that option? 8 option. That was natural ordering. Okay. So it is calling compare to. And if you say display, your manager is happy. He's seeing the report as per the sorted employee IDs. You'll say we have tested it already. Now choose the option 9. Okay. And tell me which method it is calling. Is it calling the compare to method or is it calling the compare function? It will be calling a compare method. Don't trust. And then display and tell me. Is it sorted as per employee IDs? Of course not. But tell me, is it sorted as per the last name? Anturkar, Zakatdar, you can go by that, SH and SI. So tell me, are you getting 2 reports for your manager? One sorted as per the employee IDs and the other one sorted as per the last name. Got the output? Got the same output? I don't know your sample data. If you're using the same sample data, same, otherwise whatever data. So this is all about sorting in Java. And I'm saying, I'm really sorry I had to stretch this session, but at least this much. Ankit, I will be giving you everything, uploading the data this soon. I've shared these 2 lines, Ankit. It must be on the chat. Anyway, here. So guys, let me just have a word with you, before we close off. So as you know, today was our last session in the first part of Core Java. After that, you are going to have a gap. Gap between in Java. So then your faculties will be planning the database and a lot of things. And then when we meet again, we will continue to the remaining collection framework. The list part, ArrayList part I have taken completely, but you have to know the set, linked list, maps and all that. So that is what we will continue with. And then you will have IO and threads. So that is where we will complete your core Java. And then back to back, I'm going to start your advanced Java sessions. So I know because of the background, because of the earlier work, or because of whatever, you had initially a lot of difficulty. So have you, I don't know, don't give me wrong, dishonest answer. Are you getting a better feel by now? Today we have completed. Today wasn't a complete day, but at least 12 days complete and some part of 13. So guys, keep continuing because I'm not going to meet you for next almost 2 months, sometime in November, December. I think December. Yeah, we are meeting directly in December. Yeah, feels like a coder is the great thing Ankit can tell me. Yeah, so you will get lot of breathing time. You will get a more, exposure to programming in JavaScript and in HTML and database. So when you meet me again, I'm 100% sure you will be more than capable to handle the advanced topics. And that is where, yeah, so right. Avishit, I know that this happens to every fresher. So don't take it personally that others are understanding, I'm not understanding. Everyone is on in the same boat. Okay. So only my suggestion is whenever I get time, I'll keep uploading some, practice examples, some ready-made code samples. So keep checking our Google Drive. And anytime you have any queries, any questions, you can always write to me. You have my Gmail ID, you have my WhatsApp number, write to me. I try to solve queries in 1 or 2 days time. If I'm busy like this in the whole day, I may not respond, but in a day or two, I'll definitely respond. So happy coding, happy Java. Um, this one, Piyush, I have to, I have to go somewhere in the proper time. So I will share that. I'll share that, but in a later time, sometime during the day, maybe evening time and all. Whenever I get time, little bit free, I'll definitely give you the hint. Okay, the immediate hint is you cannot use any contains or any method. You have to loop. And since it is searching by Aadhaar card city location, you will have to give the corresponding record. Sorry, corresponding getters, and you can search. Okay, so that's it, guys. Thank you for your patience, and I'm looking forward to meeting you all again as soon as possible. So take care. Have a great have a great Dashera and enjoy it, and hope to see you soon. That will be all. See you around. Yes, I hope so. And I'm telling you, you'll be so interested in the advanced Java part because you can solve the projects and all that. See you around, guys. Take care of yourself. I'll be uploading all of this little later. This part I will upload, but somebody was asking me hint and all. That part I'll upload little later. See you around.